Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hello, there's the manager's at his office. Would I be able to take a reference number and I'll forward this to the call centre to give you a call back?
Everybody's already got all this information. It looks as though you guys are refusing to talk to me, to be fair. I sent letters to all of the directors last week as well. One of them was recorded mail, which I've got the receipt for, and another recorded mail one went off to your Birmingham people as well. And you guys are making all these idle threats that you're going to come round and do a removal notice, and I'm just waiting to find out who and when. Have you got an 0121 number for the Birmingham department as well?
I'll check for you. Just bear with me. I don't remember the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Right.
Bear with me. Okay. Yes. 0121.
Yeah.
632 6161.
636 6161.
Yeah. I suppose 0121 6326.
Can you say that again? 0121 632
6161.
Right, okay, so that's 0121 632 6161. And what's the main guy there called?
It varies, to be honest. May I ask, John, what's the call regarding?
Well, it's a disputed parking ticket with Birmingham City Council.
Okay.
And I'm part of Response and Beat the Bailiffs and the Banks, and you guys are making all these threats that you're going to come round this week, and I sincerely doubt you will. So I'm trying to find out who and when, because I'd like to be here.
Do you have the reference number with you?
Not on me, no, but you've already got it tons of times. If you put the details into the computer.
I'll do it the other way. Can I take your postcode, please?
Charlie Victor Niner.
Yeah.
2 Quebec.
2 Quebec. Okay. And could you confirm the first line of address for me?
The address is 147 Tamworth Road.
Okay.
You found it?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's being dealt by James Beriain, who is the enforcement agent.
How do you spell the surname?
It's Bravo Echo Romeo.
Yeah.
Indigo Alpha, Indigo November.
Okay, and has he got a mobile number?
He has, yes. It's 078.
Yeah.
357.
Yeah.
841.
Yeah.
55.
Splendid. Right, I shall give him a call then.
Would you like me to still escalate this for a call back from the manager of the call centre?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that right away for you. Anything else I can help you today?
That's everything, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Lovely, nice to talk to you.
Love you too. Thanks, bye.
Cheers, bye. Did he just say love you too at the end? I'll have to listen to that back.
Love you too.
Well, there we go. I'll tell you what, let's do a quick little Google on this James Beriain, whatever his pronunciation is. So, let's see if he comes up with anything. Videos, nothing. Add Equita to it as well. We've got some horses. Okay, let's go back to web. Nothing? No? Let's have a look at LinkedIn. Beriain. Ah, that's San Francisco. It seems like an unknown. Tell you what, let's give him a call, shall we? Which one first? Let's give him mobile a call. 07835 784 155. The plot thickens. Ooh, tired today. Back in the ensuite, nonchalant as possible. Hello there, is that James?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Is that James?
Yes, it is.
Hello there. I understand you're dealing with a supposed enforcement for somebody. I just thought I'd give you a call and talk about it.
Okay.
I haven't got the number with me, but it's for a Jonathan Dow.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Right, okay. Well, basically, Birmingham Council are trying to chase for a parking ticket from October, and it's in dispute with them. And to cut a long story short, I've been on and off with your guys in Northampton and the call centre, and they don't want to talk to me about it anymore, but you guys seem to like sending all these threatograms out. So the latest one I've got is that apparently you're supposed to be coming this week.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Does that ring any bells now?
Like I say, not off the top of my head. I have lots of files.
Right, okay. Well, they've given me your mobile number because they've said that you're the one that's assigned to it. So what I wanted to know is, have they, I mean, obviously they've not told you anything about me yet, so what they'd probably want to do is just let you deal with me as another assignment, so to speak.
Yeah.
But who I actually am, I'm one of the guys that's with Response UK and Beat the Bailiffs and the Banks and GetOutOfDebtFree.org.
Yeah.
And I actively go out to people's homes and stop bailiffs who haven't got real warrants because I know the law. I'm a paralegal.
Okay.
So basically, I mean, I'd require of you to cease and desist, but of course you guys don't do that because the council's basically like a cartel. And I know everything about how your operation works. Everything.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you, how are you actually going to go about trying to enforce this matter, if you did come?
Well, obviously we'll speak to you and let's try and resolve this matter in an easy way without having to enforce the warrant.
Right, there is no warrant. I've already...
Really?
No, there isn't, because what's happened is I can tell you the process. Birmingham Council hire administrators based at the county, Northampton Bulking Centre, which isn't even the same place as the county court, and they rubber stamp their own supposed warrants that don't have any judge jurisdiction at all. And what I spoke to one of the customer services team down in Northampton, a lad called Robbie, on the 27th of March, and he actually quoted to me verbatim, this is, how do I know it's not a real warrant? It has come from, Northampton Magistrates Court.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've unequivocally, I've basically...
So what are you disputing? The fact that you parked illegally or went down a bus lane?
You what, sorry?
What are you disputing? You said you're in dispute, but what? Did you park legally?
No, the dispute basically resolves around the fact that the council do not own the land. They manage it paid for by the public, and they don't have the authority to put levy onto humans. You see, how things work is, if a real court was involved...
So you're saying that you can park wherever you like?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the land that the council are purporting to own, as though they are the landowners, and the landowner is the one that can put claim in against another man. They don't own the land, so they don't have the authority. And how things are going is, if somebody has a civil matter, which this is a civil matter, isn't it, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So that means that it comes under civil, commercial and corporate law, and it doesn't come under criminal law. So in all instances of civil law, there must be a contract in a matter, and of course there is no contract in this matter. And what happens is because the council know that they don't have a contract, they cannot get it into even small claims court, where a real magistrate or a real judge would reside over the case at all. And none of these judges...
So you're expecting a judge to sign off on every single parking fine that comes through.
Yes, because that is how the law works.
Parking fines a year that go through.
Yeah, that's the law. You see, the thing is the council don't have any authority whatsoever to put out their own warrants.
Well, what you're going to have to do is take it up with the council, because...
Well, you guys need to... Yeah, I've took it all up with the council. I've got videos of me down at One Lancaster Circus rowing with 3 security guards and 3 receptionist women, demanding that one of their transport managers comes downstairs over and over again. And I've also sent them conditional acceptance letters. I conditionally accept to pay the alleged debt once they prove proof of claim. And what they would need to do is, and I've also told them that they need to take...
We don't deal with disputes, we're just an enforcement agency.
Right, okay, well, the dispute is between me and the council, which means that you guys shouldn't even be involved. They've made a cessation of communication with me because they know that I'm right, and they're just sending you guys out, supposedly, to be bully boys. And of course, it's not going to wash with me at all. I bear no emotion into this matter, so it's not as though it can scare tactic me. And bearing in mind that I'm one of the response guys that physically goes out and stops bailiffs if they don't have the real paperwork, because there's not a single bit of quality to any warrants, or what do you call them, distress warrants, and all that sort of stuff. It's not been passed through a real court, it's just been stamped by Northampton Bulking Centre, and I've got the proof in audio video.
Yeah, it all goes through a bulk centre.
Yeah. So
the judge who sits there and signs and stamps every...
Sorry, could you repeat that? Did you just say that there's a judge that sits there and stamps and signs them?
No, I said you don't have a judge. No, I said you don't have a judge. A judge isn't going to sit there and stamp 100,000 warrants, is he?
Okay, so if you explain the law to me then, where is the justice in the matter? For example...
Well, you parking illegally. If you had sorted this out in the first place, then it wouldn't be at this stage.
Right, so I told Birmingham Council if they've got a dispute with me, or if they wish to put a claim against me, then they can take me to small claims court. And of course they can't, because there's no contract for them to get it into small claims court. So what they then do is they bypass the judges and magistrates, and I've already proven this with Northampton Magistrates Court and a lengthy conversation with Northampton Bulking Centre. I've already established that not a single judge or magistrate will put their name or liability to the matter because it's fraudulent, because there's no contract. And also that the council will just go straight to bailiffs to try and get them to pressure people into paying.
No, they don't go straight to bailiffs. It's been going on for months. They would have before it gets to this day.
Well, the point is that I will always dispute that this matter even exists because they do not have the authority. And I've also checked with Northampton Magistrates Court after Robbie at Northampton Equita said it's come through from a judge from from Northampton Magistrates Court, and they've said it absolutely doesn't because they do not deal with civil matters.
No, it goes through the bulk centre.
Yeah, that's right, and the bulk centre has no lawful or legal authority because what needs to happen is...
That's for you to take up with them. Unfortunately, we just enforce the warrant we're given.
Well, what are you... Okay, explain to me exactly what you're preparing to do then if you come to my property.
Well, when we attend your property, we will look to retrieve the debt.
And how are you going to go about that?
You'll get charged from us coming out.
No, nothing. Not a single penny. There's no contract with you, with me. Not a single penny, matey. How are you going to barge past me into my house?
No.
Are you going to try and get through an open window?
No, I said that.
No. Are you going to clamp my car on my property driveway?
We can do.
Well, I'd cut it off with my angle grinder.
And then that would be a criminal offence.
And it would be lawful excuse, and I would fully explain my intentions on video before anything happened.
It will become a criminal matter once you clamp off.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the criminal matter would be dropped because it wouldn't be quantified because you do not have a correct statutory instrument from the start off, which means you have no authority. There's two other things.
I've got an enforcement certificate.
An enforcement
to enforce warrant.
What judge, sorry? What judge?
I have my court certificate signed by a judge which allows me to do this.
What judge?
Can't read his signature.
No, you never can read anybody's signature. You see, the problem is you guys put scribbles onto these supposed certificates and warrants because no real human being wants to accept liability for any matter.
An enforcement agent has to go in front of a judge every 2 years.
I'm not bothered about that. Let's get back to my...
The signed certificate gives us the power to attend people's property.
Yes, it gives you the power, but it does not give you the authority. Do you know the difference? In legalese, in the language of...
Judge.
You what, sorry?
It does give us the authority by the judge.
It gives you the authority to come... It gives you the power to come to somebody's property, but it does not give you the authority to come to someone's property. If you don't understand legalese, the law of the language of solicitors, the Bar Association, the Law Society, judges, magistrates and barristers, then you don't understand what the word power versus authority means. I've got the power to stand in the middle of the motorway with patting my head and rubbing my belly, but it doesn't give me the authority to. Everybody's got the power to do anything, it doesn't give them the authority to. And there's a grand difference there, my friend.
The warrant does give you the authority to.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what then. If anybody comes to my property, I'm going to explain something to you, because this is how we operate. There's 26,000 of us and growing by the day, because we're sick and tired of this corrupt government and all these councils acting like...
1,000 of you should stop parking and driving illegally.
Parking and driving illegally?
If that was the case, then there wouldn't be any fines, would there? People wouldn't have to come out to your property.
Yeah, but the point is that because there's no contract in the matter and the council don't own the land, they ain't got the authority to put that on.
Have you just done this just to have an argument? Is that why you got this fine?
That's up to you to decide. Maybe this is all a test. You see, what I'm doing, this is what we are pioneering. When a bailiff comes to the door, they are given...
an enforcement agent, we're not bailiffs anymore.
Oh, well, you guys still call yourselves bailiffs all over all these recorded... Yeah. Well, I've got evidence of it, so it don't matter. When an enforcement agent comes to somebody's property, we give them two key options. Number one of those options is... Well, sorry, three options. Number one of those options is that you present the actual physical warrant with a judge's signature and the readable judge's name. You give that warrant, like you're supposed to the man or woman that it's aimed at, supposedly. They will lock and close their door. They will telephone the courthouse, not the bulking centre, because they will be looking for a judge. And we've already established numerous times that there is not a single person at the bulking centre that is legally trained. And they've told us that themselves. So we would telephone the actual judge that signed it. We would need to be able to read that judge's name. And then what we would do is we would ask them, without a shadow of a doubt, do they put their name to the liability in the matter? And the problem is that not a single bailiff or enforcement officer would have a real judge's authority and signature and seal. You have these print-offable warrants called whatever forms, EX96 forms and all different pro formas from a website called westlaws.com, and they come pre-stamped with the county court, not the actual justice centre of a particular region or anything, and nothing that you have has got any real authority because it's not back traceable through a human being at your end or the court's end for somebody physically to be putting their name to a liability so that we can counter-prosecute them. And the reason they won't do that is because it's fraud, because there's no standing. You see, you're not going to win against me because I'm a paralegal and I understand all of this. All of it.
Okay.
Alright? So if somebody comes to my property, these are the options. They present the paperwork for it to be investigated. When it is found, I'm not going to say if it is found, I'm going to say when it is found to be unlawful, then the enforcement officer is required to leave the property with immediate effect. Now, those words are legalese as well, so you need to adhere to those. That needs to be taken notice of. It's not the same as me saying, I want you to leave. I require of you to leave with immediate effect is the correct court way of putting the word in, right? Because it's all a word game for them. If you then go and pass the matter back, then great, there's no further actions necessary. If you stay and harass or try and clamp vehicles or try and remove property or make threats or anything at all, and of course everything will be audio video recorded on many camera angles, what we then do is we find out every single thing about that man or woman that attends and makes a trespass on the property, and we've got access to the DVLA, electoral roll, deed poll, birth certificate records and national insurance records, because we've got people with their fingers in all the pies. And when we find out who that man or woman enforcement officer is, as a plain and simple man or woman, not as a bailiff or enforcement officer with any supposed backing of the employer, because you won't get any protection from Equita, we then find out names, addresses, dates of births, national insurance record numbers, the works, and then we will follow that human being from job to job, and we will report to any new employers of that man or woman after they've been given up being an enforcement agent or whatever. Excuse me.
It all sounds very far-fetched.
And what we are doing is we are making strong recommendations that that employer sacks and terminates the employment of that ex-bailiff or enforcement officer because they've got criminal activity. And when that, if or when that employer refuses, then we will protest and boycott that business until they do. This is what we're doing. And you see, what you guys rely on is something very, very straightforward. You guys think that you can call yourself Mr. Smith or whatever and remove any notion that we can find out who you are. Except you...
Not Mr. Smith.
No, I'm on about generally. You get all these bailiffs that just call themselves
They all
Mr.
give their own name. They have to.
Okay, but you won't tell me your address and date of birth, will you?
Well, why do I need to tell you my address and date of birth?
Well, I'll tell you, my friend, because what happens is when a bailiff comes to a property, or an enforcement officer, we will use lawful excuse and self-defence to physically eject that man or woman from the property if they refuse to remove themselves and cause a trespass.
It becomes a criminal offence.
Then what happens is it becomes a supposed criminal offence. So what do you do? Do you call the police?
Yes.
And when you call the police, what do you do? Do you prosecute?
Yes.
Yeah? So in prosecuting, what do you need to do?
Give a statement to the police that you physically removed me, and they would do you.
And do you intend to take that to the court?
Yes, if it goes to court, it goes to court.
And what happens in all the case notes when things go through courts is that you, as a man, or whoever it would be, have to give your name, address and date of birth. And the other person, as the defendant, is entitled to any and all notes, orders, paperwork, case file input, the whole shebang to that. So that then means that we get their name, address and date of birth, which means that it's so...
And what are you going to do with that information? Like you say, you're going to come round, threaten them?
No, not at all. What we intend to do is we use the video and audio evidence of their crimes, bullying, harassing, trying to threaten people, trying to push in...
Well, excuse me, but isn't that what you're doing now?
No. I'm giving an ultimatum.
With certificates from the court.
It's not forget all your certificates. We're getting back to one matter at hand, which is you don't have a real warrant.
The only matter at hand, sir, is whether you're going to pay the debt or not.
Not a chance. Unless you can prove.
I'm not going to sit on the phone talking to you, going over all this legal nonsense that you're talking.
Well, I tell you what, I'm in today. Why don't you come round and see what happens then? I'm in today.
Wait until we turn up. That's fine.
Okay. So
I'll see you later.
Oh, right, when you come in. Oh, he's hung up. Well, that was James Beriain, Beriain, 07835 784 155. I don't think they're going to come.